International Business, Masters of Commerce, second semester, session 5. International Business Environment. In this session, you are going to learn about the foreign trade policy. Learning objective to learn about the foreign trade policy and economic development. Session outcome. The students are able to understand the foreign trade policy and know the major features of foreign trade policy of the 2009 to 2014. The foreign trade policy is a framework that gives direction to the exports and imports of a country. It is also called as the export import policy. It is a policy statement that spells out in clear terms the policy of the government to external trade comprising exports and imports, the measures to promote exports, and the means and the ways to curb unnecessary imports. Such policy is important for the developing countries like India as it influences countries' external trade and balance of payment. For example, liberalization of imports put Indian firms under pressure to minimize the cost and enhance quality in order to remain competitive in the international market. Similarly, export augmentation measures have generated new opportunities for the firms that are willing to sell their goods and services abroad. The growth of business firms can be promoted through liberal foreign trade policy. In India, the foreign trade policy is announced by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry of the Government of India for a 5-year period. The objective of this policy is to promote exports, encouraging foreign trade, and generating favorable balance of payment position. Foreign trade policy and economic development. It is very normal and desirable for the countries to trade. This is due to the fact that natural resources are not evenly distributed on the earth, and also since developed countries spend substantially on research and development, the less developed countries are forced to buy new products from the developed countries. Whatever be the reason, foreign trade policy is very significant for the economic development of the countries. Through foreign trade policies, developing countries get to know about the development of the developed countries. This creates urge in developing countries to expand their knowledge and experience. By this, the developing countries focuses on the factors that makes the development possible. For developmental purposes, a country requires various machinery and equipments. During initial stages of the development, these machinery and equipment cannot be produced and are required to be imported. Such import of machinery and equipment that helps in the development of a country are called developmental imports. Due to foreign trade policy of a country, the developmental imports are possible. In order to properly utilize the capacity created in the country, a developing country requires the import of raw materials and intermediate goods. Such imports are called maintenance imports. Such imports are also very essential for a developing country, otherwise, various industrial projects can be struck up in between because of the lack of maintenance imports. In order to reduce the scarcity of consumer goods, a developing economy is also required to import consumer goods. Such imports are called anti-inflationary imports. For example, in India, in post-independence period, there was import of food grains that helped to arrest the rise of prices at home. The inflow of foreign technology, skills, taste, and experiences considerably influences the production, marketing, lifestyles, and level of living of the people of domestic country. Foreign trade policy of 2009-2014. The purpose of the trade is not only to earn foreign exchange but to stimulate economic growth and national development. The foreign trade policy of India is built around two major objectives which are given below. To ensure double increase in country's share of global merchandise trade within next 5 years, to act as an essential device of economic growth by giving an impetus to employment generation. In order to meet these objectives, the foreign trade policy came into force in August 2009. The major features of The foreign trade policy of 2009 to 2014 are market diversification. The growth of India's export has pulled down due to inadequate demand in developed nations. To save Indian exports, the focus is on diversification of Indian exports to other markets, especially those of Latin America, Africa, parts of Asia, and Oceania. The following measures have been taken to diversify the Indian exports. First, addition of 26 new countries under Focus Market Scheme. Second, extension of incentives provided under Focus Market Scheme from 2.5 to 3%. Third, market linked focus product scheme has been expanded to more markets and products. Second, technological upgradation. A number of initiatives have taken to encourage the technological upgradation of export sector. These are introduction of EPCG scheme to zero duty for engineering and electronic products, apparels and textiles, chemicals and pharmaceuticals, handicrafts, plastic and leather. Second, a minimum 15% value addition on imported inputs under advanced authorization scheme has specified. Third, EPCG relaxation. First one, reduction of export obligation on import of spares molds under EPCG to 50% of normal specific export obligation. Second, extension of the facility of refixation of annual average export obligation for a specific year in which exports are declined. Fourth, support to status holders. To increase exports, additional duty credit scrips has granted to status holders at 1% of the FOB value of past exports. Capital goods can be procured with the help of these duty credit scrips. Second, this policy allowed for the transfer of duty credit scrips being issued to status holders, but this can be transferred only to status holder and used only to procure cold chain equipments. Next, stability or continuity of the foreign trade policy. First one, extension of the duty entitlement passbook by a year till December 31st, 2010 to impart stability to the policy regime. Second, extension of interest subvention of 2% for pre-shipment credit for 7 sectors till 31st March 2010. Third, extension of income tax exemption of 100% to export oriented unit and to STBPI units under IT Act for the for the financial year 2010-11. Fourth, extension of the Adjustment Assistance Scheme initiated in December 2008 till March 2010 to provide enhanced ECGC cover at 95% to the sector which has adversely affected. Next, export oriented units. Permission to EOUs to sell products produced by them in DTA up to a limit of 90% instead of 75% without changing the criteria of similar goods within the overall entitlement of 50% for DTA sale. Second, EOUs are allowed to buy finished goods in order to consolidate with their manufactured goods subject to certain safeguards. Agricultural sector. A single window system has been introduced to reduce handling and transaction costs so that export of perishable agricultural produce become easier. In this system, a number of multifunctional nodal agencies to be accredited by the Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority were set up. Next, leather sector. Re-export of inappropriate imported materials such as raw hides and skins and wet blue leather is allowed. Second, leather sector is permitted to re-export unsold hides, skins and semi-finished leather from public bonded warehouses at 50% applicable export duty. Third, FPS rate is increased to 2% in order to provide benefit to the leather sector. Next, T. Reduction of minimum value addition from 100% to 50% under Advance Authorization Scheme for tea export. Second, the enhancement of DTA sale limit to instant tea by EOUs units from 30% to 50%. Third, extension of Vishesh Krishi and Gram Udyog Yojana scheme benefits to the export of tea. Next, handloom sector. To promote exports of handloom, specific funds are reserved under Market Access Initiative and Market Development Assistance. Second, permission is given for duty free import of old pieces of hand knotted carpets on consignment basis for re export after repair. Next, agriculture and village industry. Vishesh Krishi and Gram Udyog Yojana to promote exports of Gram Udyog products, forest based products, minor forest produce, agricultural produce, and the other products. Second, installation of capital goods imported under the EPCG scheme is allowed anywhere in the AEZ. Third, permission given to the import restricted items such as panels under various export promotion scheme. Next, marine sector. Exemption to fisheries sector from maintenance of average export obligation under EPCG scheme, fishing trawlers, ships, boats and other similar items. Second, VK Vishesh Krishi Gram Udyog Yojana scheme is also applicable to marine products. Third, additional flexibility to provide to marine sector under Target Plus scheme or duty free certificate of entitlement scheme for status holders. Next, pharmaceutical sector. Extension of export obligation period for advance authorizations issued with the 6 APA as input from 6 months to 3 years. Next, electronics and IT hardware manufacturing industry. Assurance of speedy clearance of approvals needed from the DGFT. Next, promotion of exports of electronics and IT hardware through utilization of MAI or MDA schemes by exporters or associations. Next, sports goods and toys. Permission for duty-free imports of specified specialized inputs of the to the extent of 3% of freight on board value of exports of preceding financial year. Second, under MAI or MDA scheme, this sector shall be treated as priority sector. Third, to promote exports, specific funds are reserved under the MAI or MDA scheme. Fourth, sport goods and toys are considered as special focus products and qualified for higher incentives. Last, Directorate of Trade Remedy Measures. Establishment of Directorate of Trade Remedy Measures to provide support to Indian industry and exporters. Thank you.